Harmonize. Distain take. And who would have thought it figured? I think that's a little
I think you were flat, but it's fine. It's all good.
Welcome
We're not
back.
professional singers.
No, not at all.
Welcome back
To
Oh,
God,
please,
not
another
podcast.
Podcast is one word. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Welcome back and happy early morning.
So I've been watching a lot of Megan Thee Stallion videos. How you doing?
Nice. You didn't do that. I'm good. I had a long week, but a good week.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
I've had a bad week, but a short week.
Okay, why have you?
I don't know. Everything's bad.
Everything's on fire.
It all just sucks. I just don't even want to be here anymore.
Okay. That's fine.
No, it's everything's good. I, fell in and out of love with someone new. And
Sorry, Courtney. I wish we lived near a volcano.
Me too. Just every day you could look at it and be like, maybe today is the day.
Or I was thinking jump in.
Oh, or that. Yeah. I mean, I guess it'd have to be active, right?
Yeah. If you could die.
Uh-huh.
If you had to choose between these two.
Yeah.
Drowning and fire, which one would you choose?
Oh, drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they say fire, you're pretty aware and cognizant for a lot of it. It's a while until
it makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, it's a while. And they say drowning, you're a little more euphoric, I think, before you die.
You're like, this is awesome.
Yeah, because it's why people do self-erotic asphyxiation or whatever.
Did you say white people?
Well, it's probably predominantly white people, let's be honest. Yeah. Those are the guys who are like, yeah, I've had a good life. I'm going to try tying a belt around my neck and jerking off.
Did you ever do the thing where you you made yourself pass out?
No, I was too freaked out to do it.
We used to do it
really?
all the time. I should be dead.
Yeah.
I must have a bigger purpose.
Maybe. Maybe, or God just likes watching you suffer.
He's like, she'll do it eventually.
Yeah.
She's fine. Why? So what have you done this week? Because we're recording a day late. This is my fault.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. This week, I worked a good bit. I was in the studio with some friends yesterday. I'm trying to think of anything too exciting. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. I didn't really fall in love. I was just saying that.
Aww.
But, yeah.
Aww.
I don't think, honestly, it wouldn't be for me.
Falling in love?
Just doing it again. I just don't want to do it again.
It's funny you say that because I'm watching Temptation Island right now.
Yeah. And you're tempted?
No. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And I was going to ask if you and Courtney would ever go on Temptation Island.
Well, do they go on as couples?
Yeah, so you go as a couple.
I thought that was the ultimatum.
No, that's the ultimatum. That's the show, The Ultimatum.
Right.
So you go to this island.
Yeah.
And then you go as a couple, and then the couple splits up. And then the girls.
I thought that's the exact premise of the ultimatum, though.
No, that's I guess it kind of is. But the girls will stay in a house with guys, and the guys will stay in a house with girls, and they'll be tempted or whatever.
Yeah.
And then every 2 or 3 nights, there's a bonfire, and the show will show you a clip of what your significant other is doing or saying without any context behind it.
Interesting.
So perception's reality.
Yeah, right.
So this one girl, honestly, this is so true because watching it, this guy is a little bitch. They show a clip of her going, he just has bitch tendencies. And he goes, Josh, I'm not even joking. He goes, that hurts to hear that about my bitch tendencies. But, he has it's so,
I'd have the same reaction. It hurts to hear about my bitch tendencies.
She was saying he hasn't had a job for 7 months.
Yeah.
It complains about everything.
So the guy is just exploring his options,
Mm-hmm. And he's already cheated on her.
Yeah. Well, some guys just have that dog in them, you know?
They just have those bitch tendencies.
Those bitch dog tendencies.
But I'm engulfed in it because it's just, I love that kind of trash TV.
I might need some more, brainless TV, because I think I'm in between 90 Day Fiancés, and so I got to get
You would like this one because, like, this other guy at the bonfire, he looks like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. And he had just cheated on his girlfriend. Obviously, she saw the clip.
Yeah.
But they showed him a clip before she even knew he cheated. And it was just like, I just don't understand why I'm constantly, like, asking him to do these things or wanting him to do something or just show something that he cares about me. It's just, it's like the universe was like, here's a piece of shit man. And he had just cheated on her. And so he sat there and he goes, it's just like, I'm never good enough. I'm never. And now, she's going to see this clip of me cheating on her. And
he said, shit.
And she's
I forgot this thing was being recorded.
Yeah. You hear everything. You hear the slapping, the kissing, the moaning.
Wow. Okay.
You're like, I'll go watch it.
Yeah,
now.
I'll watch it right now. I pressed record on this. I'm pretty sure. So that's good. On the camera, I know I pressed record in there, but you're going to check? Why? You don't trust my... It should have a red thing that says REC.
Great picture.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I really dialed it in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like saying it's just a lot. But I do think I don't think this is always the case. I think people are in happy relationships and cheat too. You know what I mean? I don't think that's like necessarily like... I don't think it's ever like always about like, oh, I'm not getting what I need. I'm not getting what I, or what I like. I think there is truth to that for sure. I just think like there are people who are happy, but then like, it's like the same kind of thing as like people who like up and quit their job one day or something. You know what I mean? Like something just like, cause I think we always like have these like internal things inside of us that is just like, oh my God, I'm just like a rat in a cage, or whatever, like whatever.
You
like,
start freaking out.
Yeah, can I just escape the matrix and like make myself feel something or whatever?
There is a guy on there that's like, I don't really know if I believe in monogamy, but I believe in polygamy. Like having, so he already had a threesome and cheated on his girlfriend.
Yeah. Not with his girlfriend though, huh?
No, all the girls are like, just like exploring their feelings and guys are like, boobs, butt, vagina. It is really funny. It's not funny. They went on there to get like a good following. So they don't have to work the rest of their life, which makes sense. But no, I do agree with that. I think people cheat because monogamy is hard to wrap your head around. Yeah. I personally would never cheat. And if Tom cheated, I would divorce him. But like,
Yeah.
I am all the woman Tom needs in his life.
Totally. Well, I love that you feel that way. I think that's awesome. I think that's a good thing.
This is where you just say, yeah, Brailey, you are.
No, I am just, I was agree. Like, I think that's awesome that you feel like that about yourself. Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, red and green.
Yeah, it's just a funny show to watch because all these people are going to cheat. And I guarantee, too, when Beavis sees his girlfriend kissing another guy, he's going to be like, how could she do that to me?
Yeah, they have a hard time thinking about it the other way.
Yeah, bitch, just get off the island. You're the one that brought her here.
Yeah. Like, you brought her to this island.
Honestly, if I went on that island and like, I don't know, I did ask Tom last night. I was like, would you go on Temptation Island? Like, what would you do? Like, what would you do? And he was like, I'd sit in the corner.
Yeah. Tom is just like, he doesn't have that dog in him, He
doesn't. He really doesn't. And he has more of like a soft kitten. Yeah. And it's it's the ones with like the smushed face.
He's a good one. He's like one of the ones like you want to marry. Like,
yes, he is. That's why I married him. I snagged him right up.
Yeah.
We were talking yesterday in a right. I was with two girls. One of them is single.
Yeah.
And she was talking about just the dating pool in general. This is the one who accidentally went on a date with her cousin.
She's like, we have so much in common, including DNA. She's like, our aunts have the same names. It's weird.
But we were like just talking about in general. I was like, well, what do you want? And she was like, at this point, just somebody to talk to me. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. But
that's something I wish I could offer. Wish I could just be like somebody you could just hang out with. You know what I mean? Just like because I can listen for days. I can just sit there and be like, man, that sounds really hard. Yeah. And like,
sugar daddy, but like instead you're a What would you call
I'm
it?
like, I don't know, a weighted blanket.
Yeah. You're a person.
I'm just the human weighted blanket.
You're
You know
a
what I
sleep
mean?
sack.
I absorbed everything in my childhood from my, like, so I'm just used to it. I just like, I'm like, yeah,
But
wow.
what if we started an app, Josh?
Yeah.
It'd be called Weighted Blanket.
Weighted blanket. Yeah.
And you can sign up to have just a significant other doesn't do anything with you.
Yeah.
Except
because like
listen.
I
guess that's therapy.
I guess just from an unlicensed person, an unlicensed guy. I'm like, yeah, we could just go crush some drinks somewhere.
We'll
and
tell
like,
you what you want to hear.
Yeah. Just come on. Like, we'll just go out and you'll have the presence of somebody. You'll be out technically on a date, but
Yeah.
it's just going to be me listening to you.
Oh my
And
gosh.
You know.
I'm patenting this.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Okay. We're doing
The Weighted Blanket.
Yeah. So let me know. Like, we got to sign up. We got to get some test trials going.
Maybe we could have the weighted blanket and the wet blanket. The wet blanket is
is
for you.
only sex.
Yeah. Weighted blanket and wet blanket. And you get to choose.
Yeah.
You get to choose.
I mean, I guess a wet weighted blanket would be the heaviest thing.
It really would. I do have a weighted blanket. It's 25 pounds.
I had a big one too,
I
like that,
loved
and
it.
I was like, "Damn!" And then we were moving, and I was like, "Let's get rid of this shit. This is
Yeah.
heavy." Like,
I got it during COVID.
Yeah.
And it is really. I used to be like, Tom, can you just lay this on me? Because
Yeah.
I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't do it. But okay, yeah. So weighted blanket. We're
Weighted
gonna
blanket.
start an app. I would actually really enjoy that. So I think that's a.
yeah. I mean, you kind of get to live that every Wednesday or Thursday. You just come in here and just yap to me, and I go, Except I'm not as. I would be way nicer to the other people.
Exactly. This is my therapy session.
You get a little bit of like. You get a little bit of tough love, that like 80s dad kind of like, just like pick yourself up by your bootstraps and fucking figure it out.
Except, but
then, I won't be like that to you guys.
Yeah,
Only her.
He only will be upset because if you're petting a dog and you're not petting him.
Yeah, it's true. I can only think about things and how they relate to me. So
I get it. Oh, this is actually a good question.
Yeah.
This is so random.
Okay.
I know this is, but you said it, so it's jogging my like mind.
Okay.
Okay, let's say you're having a conversation with somebody,
Yeah.
and they're like, telling you, I don't know, just something like traumatic that happened to them.
Yeah.
How do you respond to it? Do you say, I know how you feel, I've gone through a similar situation, or do you just let them talk?
I don't. I try to remove myself from the situation until maybe later on. I go, wow, that sounds really hard. I'm so sorry you're dealing with that.
Yeah.
And then, I'll be like, if the conversation progresses, I would be like, man, I've been through something similar. Like, this is what I did. I don't know if it works for everybody.
Yeah. I asked that because I found that, like, in general, like, I try to, like, relate to the person.
Yeah.
But then, like, I've recently found that I'm like, okay, I've started to be like, what do you need from me? Do you need ears? Do you need advice? Do you need relation? Like, because I don't want to be like, because I really was one of those people, like, I don't want you to feel alone in a situation.
Yeah, I get that. It feels a little clinical to me as far as, like, like, here's a menu. What do you want? But I understand.
Somebody had posted something about it. It's like, you don't have to relate to everything. And I'm like, but maybe that's just how somebody kind of goes through.
We're relational beings, as humans. I think that's how we relate, is through our own experiences.
Yeah. Because if you were like, my brother got shot and my brother got shot too.
Yeah. You'd be like, weirdly enough,
same thing happened. I don't know. I was just thinking about that because you had said.
No, I get you.
I don't know where it came from, but it was in my brain.
But I get what you're saying. Is I do think we are relational beings. So we always are, whether we're doing it consciously or subconsciously. Like I think we're always looking for a way to relate to people. So I think that's just something that we naturally do as humans. It's like we look for the things that connect us.
Yeah. Connection. I figured also on this podcast, me and you could make a basketball bracket.
I literally just denied my office today about, they go, who's in for a bracket? It has to be turned in by 10:30 today. And I said, not me.
But like, Josh, like, what if for some reason We get it all right. We're the first people in history.
We're not going to.
Play this game with me for a second.
Okay, all right. We'll travel this imaginary road you want to go down.
Let's just funsies.
Yeah.
Let's say we pick each team based off their colors, and we're like,
Yeah.
man, I like this color.
I've already done this. It doesn't work.
Okay, fine.
But
hottest coach.
I thought we were gonna. Yeah. I thought we would make a bracket, but not about basketball.
Well, I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't come up with anything. What do you have?
Different type of boobs. Sometimes there's some ones with the slopes. Sometimes there's ones that are like, it looks like a tennis ball on the end of a tube sock, they're just kind of dangling around down there.
I need you to watch Substance so you can see when she's an old woman and her boobs are literally a tennis ball and a tube sock.
Walked in on my great grandma changing before, and it was like, they were like, she was I don't know, is boobs, can you say well endowed? Like with boobs? I don't know. She had, when she
Big
was,
boobies.
yeah, she had big boobs when she was, yeah, I mean, she continued to have them. They just, declined with age. Like they kept going. They were to her knees. They were like to her knees. They were like those things just stretched out like a Stretch Armstrong doll that lost all of its fucking elasticity.
I saw a girl on TikTok who had massive tits.
What's her at?
Anyways,
Okay, yeah.
They looked like a giant W. And she was saying she wouldn't get a breast reduction because she still wanted to breastfeed her kids, which you can get a breast reduction.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not taking out the milk glands?
Yeah, literally.
Right?
But exactly the same thing. Her boobs were down to her thighs.
Yeah,
and they
that's
were
rough.
They were like Z's. They were that big.
That's rough.
I always
somebody I know just lost like 100 pounds, and she's like, I went from a double D to like an A cup.
Well, boobs are just fat.
Right.
I always say that to Tom. I'm like, why do you like boobs? They're just fat.
Yeah.
We can get you fattened up, and you have boobies too.
Yeah, hell yeah, I've had them. They're great.
I would say I always, my breasts sit high up. They're fine.
Yeah, and you wear like normally a sports, something that just like sucks.
Yeah, I wish I was flat chested. I'm being completely honest. I would never wear a bra. My nipples would be doing all the time, like yours are.
Yeah.
But I'll stand in the mirror sometimes, and I'll be like, and I'll go.
Yeah.
And lift my boobs up. And I'm like, but Tom, what if they looked like
People
this?
have been doing, Courtney's been doing that too, because she's been losing some weight and stuff, and she's.
Oh, good for Courtney.
Yeah.
Tom said, I like them just the same.
I like them just the same.
Tom's a boob guy.
Yeah.
You're a butt guy?
I'm really just split down the middle. I just love women.
I'm an awful guy.
But yeah, they do say that's like the thing. They say Republicans lean more towards boobs, and liberal men lean more towards butts. So
is
Tom might be a closet. You go in the closet and you're like, "What's that behind your hat?" You're like, "Is that a red hat?" Oh. Could you imagine? You just find out some guy's been voting against you.
Yeah, I would be so mad. I actually don't know.
You think that would be divorce?
It wouldn't be divorce.
Oh, okay.
But it would.
Cheating would be divorce, but that would that feels like a bigger betrayal to me.
Because it's actually, you know what? I will say I would never marry.
Yeah.
A MAGA Republican.
Yeah.
And I say that with my chest. But I'd also never marry a really
with your bountiful chest.
Yeah. with my bountiful boobies. But I also would never marry a really a far lefter.
Really?
I don't want anything extreme. I don't want anything that's I think there's common ground in everything. So it's like, if you can't see any common ground, when it comes to things like, not like racism and like women's rights and stuff and like gay marriage, but let's say for guns, for example, I don't want guns to be taken away.
Yeah.
But I would like
I don't think
stricter
anyone's like trying to take guns away.
Well, there are far lefters that are like, get rid of them.
Actually, they're like, if you go really far left, like where they like are communists and things like that, there's a thing called horseshoe theory, basically, where things go so far left or so far right that they actually end up meeting in the middle. And because they all believe in arming yourself. So
good.
Yeah. So because, that would be people who believe in revolutions and things like that. So
then maybe I would marry far left. I wouldn't marry somebody that would sit in a highway because somebody's eating meat.
Oh, yeah. See, but I would equate that more to being like, liberal. Like those are just like those are facade like
Isn't
level
that-
like surface level like protest. It's like the freaking Nancy Pelosi like wearing like an African garb and putting her fist up on one knee, you know, like kind of thing.
Nancy.
Like it's just like that doesn't really do anything though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like you have been in power for so long and you haven't introduced any kind of change or reform or anything.
I
You
know.
like, all you're doing is showcasing your peacocking.
I
and
would
that's
love
about
it if they just got rid of everyone and let's start over.
Yeah, I mean that would be good.
No left or right. Like you can't even say you're Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be nice to have things that are based more on policies, which I think like there's like in parliaments and things in other countries, there are more nuanced like things across the board. Like there's like it's not just left and right. Like there's all kinds of different parties, and like everyone has like a shot at like winning their seats. You
Yeah,
know?
because if I'm being 100% honest, like I know there are a lot of people that are Republican and Democrat who are rooted in what they're saying, but I also do believe there are Republicans and Democrats in office that only say things because it appeals to their party. So
I do agree with that, but I would say there's some good majority of that. I think they all are kind of doing the same thing. And
Yeah.
like, yeah. I think there's like I think that would be more outliers, like that are people who are true to like their.
yeah.
Like-
I just something different, something fun, something
fun.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like everybody kiss and just
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah. Everybody kiss.
Kiss, kiss,
Kiss. 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 Kiss.
Yeah, because our world is politically up in flames right now and it's
It is?
absolutely insane, which I'm just going to take the opportunity to say this real quick.
What?
You don't, just because you voted for somebody doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything they're doing. And if you don't agree with
no,
it,
you
you should
do.
make it known.
That's the law.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you have to. I love Tesla.
Everything's computer.
Everything's computer.
When your video popped up on my TikTok, I laughed out loud.
Did you?
Yes. And because like sometimes I don't really go to the people I follow,
Yeah.
like and scroll
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
I just
I
go to
don't
my For You
either
page.
usually, yeah.
But you showed up on my For You page.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everything's computer. Everything's computer.
Yeah. Everything is cool when it's made of a screen.
I showed everybody that. That was so funny.
Everything's computer.
You-
I said that for days, Brailey. We hadn't seen each other in a week, but I just kept going around. I was saying it here at the office. I was like, everything's computer.
I love it when people make fun of him.
Yeah.
It's just so
Oh no, I'm
funny.
laughing with him.
And also he's like, I love this. I love
How do you
Tesla.
turn it on? He's like, it's like his whole thing.
And they're like, which one would you buy? And he
Yeah.
goes, I think I like this one.
yeah. He's like, and somebody goes, "Are you gonna drive it?" They're like, Biden drove the car last when he was in office. He's like, Biden drove it. You're the only one who saw that. That's what he said to the reporter. You're the only one who saw that.
Oh my
so
gosh.
funny.
It is so. It is kind of. One day we're gonna look back at this time.
And just laugh with joy because everything will be okay.
Yeah, and we won't be burned down to ground.
No, everything's good. Everything's computer.
Everything's computer. That was so freaking funny. The more and more I look into just like quotes and things that are said in politics, sometimes I think everybody in there are just two short kids in a trench coat.
Yeah, that's maybe three.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, I get that, man. I mean, when you think about it, are these people that much smarter than us?
They're not smart at all.
No.
They're not.
They're just there because they made the right relationships and they figured it out. But it was never my passion to figure that out. So
And I'm just gonna say this real quick.
okay.
Who's the White House secretary? What's her name? Whitney.
I don't
She
know.
looks like a Whitney.
I don't know.
She married a 60-year-old man. She is 27.
Oh yeah.
He's like late 50s. She was like, I met him in the office in politics, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Why didn't she sleep her way to the top? But Kamala did. That's crazy. That's all I have to say.
They
on
said,
that topic.
were they saying Kamala slept her way to the
Yes.
top? I didn't know that.
Because she was dating a Dougie Doug.
Oh, what is he? Isn't he like a banker or something? I don't know what he does.
There's something
I don't know what he does.
I don't either. But anyways, Whitney, if that's your real
Yeah,
name.
if that's even your real name.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's
I've like truly.
people just say things.
I
you
also
know?
love it in the press conference though, because my TikTok always sometimes like we'll pick up on them sometimes.
Right.
When reporters like call like Whitney out on what is her name?
I don't
Kelly.
know. What's her press secretary?
Yeah, the one
Okay.
with the terrible makeup. Like truly is actual Republican girl makeup. U.S. Secretary.
Press secretary,
Press
right?
secretary, yeah.
Caroline Levitt?
Oh, Caroline with a K.
With a K.
Which is worse.
Yeah.
She would have a
that's
K
her.
in her name. She just needs 2 more.
Yeah, her name's Caroline Katrina Levitt. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
well, she's getting eaten alive. The other day, she was talking about in a press conference that was like, well, Obama had, elected the Supreme Court
Look
justice.
at her hair.
I know.
She has so many flyaways. It's crazy.
I know.
I just know that bitch can't fuck.
Well, that's why she married an old man, so she doesn't have to.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever the blue pill comes out,
She thinks that-
she makes $180,000 a year being the press secretary.
I mean, I would make up shit just to make $180,000
Yeah,
a year.
that's what I do. I just make things up.
How do you even get to that?
180,000. You
No,
gotta
to be the
walk a
press
lot of
secretary.
dogs.
Walk a lot of dogs. Everything's computer.
Everything's computer.
Speaking of dogs, I've been walking a lot of dogs.
Yeah, you got a lot of
But
dogs.
Tom went with me the other day to walk this one dog, and he's my favorite dog to walk. He's so freaking cute.
It's a dirty dog.
He is an English Labrador, so he's massive.
Ooh.
Well, he also takes massive dumps.
Oh.
So Tom picked it up. And I
Yeah.
don't know what Tom was doing. It got
just
all
picked
over
it up
his
with his
hands.
hand.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much. So he's literally
Is there a
holding his
hole in
hands
the
like
bag
this.
or something?
No, I do not know how I have
As
now,
somebody who has a Great Dane, hasn't really ever happened to me that. Like,
as somebody who's now
yeah.
walked like 180
Yeah,
dogs.
it's never happened to
I've
you.
never had that happen. So he's
Yeah.
walking around with poop on his hand. He smelled so bad. I made him go into the Vanderbilt, because we were walking around Vanderbilt.
Oh, were you?
Place to
Vandy.
go wash his hands. And I go, look, there's a hand sanitizer place right there. He sticks his hand under, and it's old sunscreen. So he's like, you set me up. So there's poop everywhere.
And sunscreen. Yeah.
Yes.
They
So-
have sunscreen dispensers at Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
What? That's
Yeah,
weird.
I know. It is weird, but they.
All the interns upstairs always make fun of me because they're like, you need to be wearing sunscreen every day. And I was
do.
like, why? I was in the sun for 2 seconds today.
Exactly. Why do you
It's-
think I look so fresh and young?
I think we look the exact same.
No,
and
we do
don't.
not. I look like I am 22 years old.
Oh my God. Okay.
Look at this beautiful face.
Yeah.
You look like you're 25 at least.
Yeah. It's true. People say that all the time about how old I look. No, I mean,
Oh,
they
I
don't
think you look old.
But I go, guess my age. And they're like 42. And I'm like, nope. Like 10 years too much.
You do not look 42.
Thank you.
You look 41.
I feel like I'm hitting my prime.
And we made out during the whole entire Star Wars movie, like
Mm.
one of the 15 that came out.
I had sex in a Target dressing room once.
You did not.
I don't know. You tell me if you think it's true.
Did you really?
What were you going to say about the Star Wars thing?
That I just made out with a kid. I don't.
Oh.
He said like
Well,
cigarettes.
that's weird. You shouldn't be making out with kids, Brailey.
I was a kid myself.
Okay.
Somebody,
She just goes to theaters to see little kid movies.
we're gonna blow up one day,
Yeah.
and then like somebody's gonna clip that and be like, and she made out with
the
kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that's her weird thing
I'd
she's
never.
into. No, me either.
I'd never.
Me either. I don't think I could kiss anyone under 25 now.
Yeah.
Being 34, like
25.
That's 9 years. I think 9 years is like okay if it's like, I don't know, 25 is.
10 years, I feel like is fine. Yeah, 10
Yeah.
years is fine.
And women are much more mature than men, so I feel like
Yeah.
a 25-year-old woman is probably like a 35-year-old guy.
Yeah. See, I would make out with a 25-year-old, and then he would go put a red Solo cup into a horse trot with alcohol in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But although I have no perception of how old people are anymore.
I know it is weird. You kind of get like
It's so I was on TikTok the other day and this guy was like, and I'm 26. I thought that he was easily pushing 40.
Yeah, it is like people age differently, and like it's just weird once you cross because I think like probably up until like you're 25, 26, 27, you assume most people are older than you. You know what I mean? Or the same age, like, and then they're like, oh shit, I'm older than a lot of people.
Yeah, that's how I felt the first time Tom said, "You're older than most people on the field right now," and when we were at an NFL game.
You're like, wow.
Because to me, they all look so old.
Yeah.
Like we're now like the same age as some of the coaches.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of coaches.
Yeah. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
The Notre Dame coach.
Yeah.
Is so fine.
The Fighting Irish.
Oh, would I
Really?
fight his Irish? Yes. Let me show you him.
I'm fighting back my Irish right now.
Head coach. He is so fine.
Really?
He has like 6 kids, which I understand now.
That makes sense. He's probably Catholic.
I mean, I'll look at guys and be like, do you think he's really good at sex? And then,
but that's not also equivalent to like you can have a freaking baseball bat and not and
be horrible
and
with it.
Miss every time.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I was like thinking of like my sister and I were talking about Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you think he's good at sex? And she was like, I just know he like just picks Taylor up and is like, woo, around the room.
Yeah.
And that equates to great sex apparently. Yeah. Woo, yeah. She's like, I'd like to pay for this right again.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, I think, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, I don't think Adam Levine's good at sex.
Yeah, I don't think because I've seen his leaked DMs, which are so funny. Like, wow, you're just so insanely hot, or whatever. He's
like, whoa,
auga.
And she will be loved.
But songs about Jane fucking slaps. That album is so good.
Honestly, I loved Maroon 5.
I did my best to feed her appetite. Keep her coming every night. So hard to keep her satisfied.
What if that's such a diss to yourself?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. That's what I thought about the other day. I was like, oh man, maybe not everything needs to make the song. You know?
This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before. Her heart is breaking in front of me, and I had no choice, 'cause I don't say goodbye anymore. That key right there. Oh. Damn, that was so good. I used to think that in Hard Love,
Hard Throbbing Love.
Hard Throbbing Love with a big...
No, what is Rock of Love?
Nope. It's
with Bret Michaels?
Maroon 5 song, big hit.
She Will Be Loved?
Nope.
Hard Love.
It's not Hard Love. I know it's
Harder to Breathe?
Harder to Breathe.
Is it's getting harder and harder to breathe.
Yeah. Oh, so I remember like sitting in the car and be like, this is my awakening.
Yeah.
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 That and Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin. I get that. I was a Beauty and the Beast guy myself. I loved Beauty and the Beast.
I don't know why. I realize that like Belle is like an attractive princess, and I was thinking of you looking at Beast and being like,
no, I viewed myself as Beast.
Honestly, if I was ever kidnapped by somebody or like held hostage, I would hope that would be in a mansion with a giant library.
Yeah,
you know.
But you can't touch anything.
And like, I mean, is that so bad?
No, I don't know. Probably not.
I've been reading a lot of like enemies to lovers books.
Oh.
And Stockholm Syndrome just makes sense to me sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I could see it. I mean, obviously, I don't think about that as much because I think probably you don't hear of a lot of like Stockholm Syndrome, like guys being abducted by women and then falling in love with them, you know? Like,
it's never me.
It's never... I'm not trying to make it all about me. I'm just saying the scenario doesn't come up a lot, you know? I can't imagine some woman who's like, get in my van. And I'm like, all right. Yeah.
All right. Don't yell at me at least.
Yeah. I'm like, but she makes some good points, you know? I don't deserve a meal every day.
Yeah. But
or whatever.
I hope that if anybody plans to kidnap me, at least make it a nice experience. Let me grab my Kindle first.
Yeah.
Or build me a library at least.
Build her a library with all the smutty books. It'll
Yeah.
give her. It'll give her a lot of good ideas.
Good ideas. I'm reading a firefighter book right now.
Ooh.
Or not even firefighter. He's like a wildfire firefighter.
A wildfire fighter?
Yeah.
Firefighter?
Yeah.
A wildfire fighter?
Yeah.
A wildfire firefighter. A wildfire firefighter. A wildfire firefighter.
Fire.
A wildfire firefighter.
Maybe if you said it with a country accent.
A wildfire firefighter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I did it before in just my normal accent too.
Oh.
Wildfire firefighter.
Yeah. That was really good. He has a mustache. He's hot.
Oh, a mustache.
Yeah, a mustache. He's hot. And but I also read a book this month, Josh. It was so bad because guess what the main character's like main profession was?
Gynecologist.
No, he would always find the clitoris.
Yeah. So he was not.
No, he was like a WWE wrestler. So I kept picturing.
He's just choke slamming the shit out of it.
So I kept picturing like Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
In this book, and he's not doesn't look like Nacho Libre, but like
Yeah. Why can't you picture like Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock or
because
whatever?
I don't
you know,
think
those
they're
are-
hot either.
Yeah.
I think they're funny, but I don't think they're hot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was so, and like in the book, he was like having to do a promo
John
video.
Cena.
Yeah, yeah. I was picturing him. He had to do like he wears like a green mask and green pants.
So he is
tight
like
pants.
a lucha libre type, like
Yes.
yeah, wow, okay.
And like he had to do a promo video, and he would go like, "Little Jimmy." LC Silver, I love you, but that was just not it. I was just picturing Nacho
Listen
Libre.
here, brother. If you're thinking that you're gonna get out of this bedroom alive, then you have something else coming to you. I'm gonna wipe the floor with you. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna throw you down. I'm gonna put you in a chokehold. I'm gonna find that clitoris, and I'm gonna punish that thing. I don't know. I got locked in.
And that's the premise of Wild Side by LC Silver.
You're welcome, Elsie Silver. If you have a movie, feel free to cast me. I don't think I could do that voice for very long, though. I was like about to cough.
Oh my God, that is exactly how it went. That's exactly the book. You don't have to read it. That was the whole premise.
I'm pretty good at guessing.
That's a clip. That's for your book talk girlies. It was horrible. I gave it 2.75 stars, which I would never do to LC Silver.
Yeah.
She's the same one that has Daddy Cade.
Yeah, I remember the hockey player.
Nope, he is
Oh,
a
he has
cowboy.
hockey hair or something. I don't remember.
Hockey hair.
Yeah,
But no,
whatever
he was
that
a hot
means.
cowboy. Then there was another one I read called Cash, and he also had a mustache.
Yeah.
And he actually said the line, "I want you to ride my mustache."
Mustache rides.
Did
Did you ever see Super Troopers? The like movie about the like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in that movie, they go, "Who wants a mustache ride?" And he's like, "Me." I do.
There is a trend going on with the mustache coming back.
Yeah.
Because of Riley
I know.
Green.
I've seen a few people. I was with one yesterday who has a mustache.
I made Tom
So-
shave his face into a mustache. I just wanted
Can
to see
you
it.
imagine me with just a mustache? I don't feel like I'm a beard guy. I don't think I can do just
You could. There's two facial things you can do.
Yeah.
Only
me?
Yes.
Personally? Okay.
beard or mustache. You're not allowed to do a goatee.
Yeah. I would
Goatees
think
are
that.
so ugly.
I would think that. Oh, my dad has goatee. Stop. He's a good-looking guy. All my friends have commented a bit. They're like, your dad's hot.
Okay, your dad is hot, but the problem, goatees just aren't. It just looks like somebody that's like, I don't know,
Yeah, I get you.
Tesla. Like, I just feel like,
It's just you're like, wow, I didn't really know you needed an outline of your mouth.
It reminds me of just like annoying guys that I grew up with. Like,
You know what got tainted forever is the Charlie Chaplin mustache. You just can't do it anymore because people
This?
don't really associate it. No, it's just this. You know, somebody took it. It's kind of like what the gays did with the rainbow. You know, it was. God's promise to never flood the earth, and now. Just kidding. Charlie Chaplin and Hitler had the same mustache. That's the joke, guys. If you don't know who Charlie Chaplin is.
Could you imagine if somebody tried to bring that back?
Well, there's that scene in The Office where Pam's like, if I take off my hat, she goes dressed up like when she's working in New York.
Oh,
she goes for Halloween. She's like, if I take off my hat, then I just look like Hitler.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I love The Office.
Yeah, it is funny.
Do you think The Office would do well in today's climate?
I think people are kind of still craving humor like that.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely a space for it. Like, and I think, I just think like I keep saying I think, but with generations, I think sometimes we overcorrect things to where it's just like, oh, now nothing's fun, or like you can't, or whatever. It's so like, there's a South Park joke and like, I don't know, it was about like, oh, everything's going like liberal or something, and it's like, how long is this gonna last? And he's like, probably like 5-10 years, like the last time, kind of whatever, like it's just like, I think it just ebbs and flows like back and forth. To like,
Josh, I have to tell you about this rabbit hole real quick. I don't want to forget this because it's so big right now.
Don't really want to hear about your holes, but please.
Okay, well, it's just my rabbit hole.
Okay.
There is a TikTok of a girl in Nashville who is like, she tells scary stories, like people write into her like their paranormal experiences. I am so fascinated by this story.
Okay.
This girl wrote in and she was talking about how they're from Florida. They were driving up to Tennessee for a funeral. I think in Tennessee. I might get this wrong. And they went to the funeral. It's her and her siblings in a van, and they're driving back down, and they get down to Valdosta, Georgia, which is like all the way South Georgia.
Yeah.
And one of the girls has to pee so freaking bad. So they get off at an exit at a gas station. Have you heard this?
No.
So they get off an exit at a gas station. She bolts out of the car, goes to the bathroom, gets back out, and her brother and sister are kind of like looking around like, this place is so weird. And they were just kind of like, it kind of was like an old-timey gas station a little bit. So while the other girl goes to the bathroom, she goes inside and she looks, and like all the snacks inside are kind of like older, like older snacks, older Coke bottles, I guess. And the guy at the counter is just staring at her, like not saying anything.
Yeah.
And
almost like he's surprised that she could see him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she was like, I got to get out of here. This is creepy. So they get to their car, and when they look over, the guy now has like just like turned his body and is staring right at them. So they peel out so hard that like it's like skew, and there's like tire marks, right? So they turn right to get back onto the interstate, and they're driving for like 15 minutes, and they can't find the interstate. And this is 2007, so there's not GPS. They didn't have a GPS.
Nobody printed out the map quest.
They're driving 15 minutes. And they cannot find the interstate. But then all of a sudden, they look to their right, and they're coming back up onto the gas station. And when they come up the gas station, the guy is staring out the window, just staring at them. So they drive again, and they're like, holy shit, what is happening? This is so weird. They're freaking out. Anyways, it happens 2 more times or 1 more time. Then it stops. Or this third time they pass it, they pass the same gas station, they see their tire marks, and the whole place is boarded up. Not working gas station.
Interesting.
And then all of a sudden, they find the highway within like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So she writes in about the story. They still to this day don't know what happened.
She thinks she went into like a different dimension.
Yes. So then all of a sudden, this other guy writes in, and he's older. He's like 60 something. And he goes, I feel like I know what gas station you're talking about. I think my dad worked at this gas station back in the 70s. And he used to do like pills and alcohol. Like, he used to do pills and alcohol. Yeah. And so they thought he was crazy, but he would talk about how he felt like he was seeing a time traveler, like time travelers. And he said that like nobody really talked to him because he was like kind of crazy. Like he would say these things like, no, like I keep seeing like people from the future. And he was like, I'm almost positive this is the same gas station. And I guarantee like who they saw is my dad.
That's crazy.
So now we're stuck at the part where he, like the girl who wrote in is asking this guy for a picture of his dad so that she could be like, that's literally him. That's who was at the counter. But then here's the kicker. Another person wrote in, was like, I know this gas station. I was driving back from my honeymoon and we stopped at a gas station to go to the bathroom. Same thing happened. We couldn't find like the highway. And then we come back and the place is boarded up. I want to believe it so badly.
I think that guy saw a Cybertruck pull up and he just killed himself. He said, "You know what? This has gone too far. I'm out.
Yeah. This is horrible."
Board it up."
But I am so into this story. I'll send it to you so you could fall down this rabbit hole. I'm so into this story because I'm so interested. The girl's like, I think the guy is telling the truth.
Yeah.
She put his email into like Chat GPT to see if it was like AI generated.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And the guy was like, I don't want you to use my name. I don't want to be like identified, but this is like, I'm almost positive that this is like
That's
my
interesting.
dad.
I've heard of, you've seen those pictures of people like in old time photos that where it's like, looks like they're wearing modern clothing and you're just like, huh, that's weird.
Yeah, there's one where a kid's like, it looks like he's holding, I mean, once you look closer, it's not, but it looks like he's holding an iPad.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder. It's kind of like, do we just cross like dimensions?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's one of the things is like, you know, I mean, I think things could be interdimensional. That's the thing that I think.
That makes I like gives me chills.
Yeah,
like thinking
because I think
that.
there's probably a bunch of versions of you, like billions of versions of you.
I wonder which one's the prettiest.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I wonder which one's really
I don't know.
rich.
Yeah, I'd like to see both of those.
Well, it's kind of like kids who are like, oh, I was a fighter pilot.
Yeah, that freaks me out when kids do that.
I hope my kid does it.
Yeah.
I hope one day he's like, I actually I invented the light bulb.
And he's like, your great great grandma was a really nice lady.
Well, there was another story on there where a girl wrote in and she was like, my mom did a Ouija board before I was born.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a Ouija board?
I haven't, but I think it's magnets, you know, or whatever.
Should we do one here?
Oh, we could.
This place is haunted.
Yeah, for sure.
You could also download a voice box thing for ghosts.
Oh, really? Let's do it right now.
You want to?
Let's see if they say anything.
Okay, let's do it.
Me and Joe went to P.F. Chang's last night.
Oh my God, I love P.F. Chang's.
It's so shitty now. Like,
so
we walked in and like they only were seating in one section, which like there's no booths or anything in P.F. Chang's anymore. There's just these uncomfortable little red chairs. And
are you sitting on the floor?
No, it's not that authentic. But like, there's a table right here on the left. There's a table on the right and a table in the middle. They wedge us in this table in the middle where like the chairs are back to back with people, and like everyone was just like forgetting everything, and like you could tell nobody wanted to be. Obviously we were at the Opry Mills Mall, so like I guess it was whatever.
They have a P.F. Chang's over there.
Yeah,
did you get the lettuce
it's right next to. Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, it's right next. I make really good homemade like ones. So
do you?
Like, yeah. Like I have the recipe for that. Saying lean.
I don't know. I think it's you stood up and
you think they're like a big fat Joe fan, and they're like lean back,
lean back, lean back, lean back.
If I don't dance and
put on my pants and do the rock away. I lean back, lean back, lean back. All right. Well, this is a boring ghost. Anyway. You're a boring ghost. I'm letting you know you're boring. I'm not trying to be mean.
You're boring.
I'm sure you're really cool and like you had so much fun back in the Victorian era. But
yeah, you were probably really cool back then, but now you're played out.
Now you're played out. Now you're like dead. Dead.
Are we rapping?
We probably should. I gotta go walk a dog. And I felt like this episode was really delicious.
Delicious.
D to the E to the L-I-C-I-O-U-S. The D to the E to the L-I-C-I-O-U-S. D to the E to the hit it Fergie.
Every time I come around, I don't know. That's the only part I know.
All right, guys, we're gonna hang out with this new ghost that said a slur.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we're doing every other week, but
eventually we'll probably go back to every week, but we just want
we get some time.
We need more time.
Yeah.
And we'll do more prompts and stuff.
All right. Well,
bitches.
Love you so much.
Love you so much. And don't date your dad.
Yeah. Sure. That one.
It has to be it.
Thank you.
Already see the merch. Don't date your dad. Oh, God. Please, not another podcast.
I guess. Yeah.
Don't date your dad. Oh, God. please, not another podcast.
Yep.